I'm on kind of a roll tonight, so I'm going to continue on with another lesson on leadership that I learned through coaching. I've been a coach at a couple different three different high schools in Gwinnett County, and different sports. I was a ninth grade baseball coach. I was a basketball ninth JV and assistant head coach, and I was the head coach of a lacrosse program here in the county. And one thing I learned, and I put into practice with my when I was a head coach, was that you have to empower your leaders, your local leaders, to do things. If you don't, what you end up with is everybody underneath them looking for direction, and understand there's only one place they can get that direction. And when the communication from that person is unclear, then you end up with dysfunction within a team. Okay, now we have heard, we have seen, we got T-shirts that say @team or #team GCPS, as if we are a team. That if you're faculty at Gwinnett County Public Schools, you're part of a team. Well, this team that we're on, what has happened is that our leaders, the leaders that we come in contact with every day, are being demonized by the county leadership. They've been neutered. We've been told that they misunderstood the direction that they were given. And basically, at the end of the day, it's kind of senseless to go to your local administrators and try and affect change, because they have no power anyway. When I was a coach, I assigned captains. I didn't just assign, I trained captains. We had classes. We had classes weekly. We talked about leadership and what good leadership is, and that character matters, communication matters, doing the right thing regardless matters. And we also talked about how to deal with leadership with people that you've been put in charge of. And that is to treat them fairly, but to also communicate well. If I needed something done, I did not go to the people on the team. I pulled my captains and said, "Captains, here's what I need done." And they did it. When there were problems, we did the same thing. I had one incident where some item was stolen from the locker room, and I was mad. I was ready to keep them up till midnight running hills, but instead, one of my leaders came to me. I mean, within 2 minutes of hearing about this and me just sitting over there figuring out what to do, he said, "Coach, let me handle it. Let me handle it." And I said, "You got this." And I went away. And they came back to me 15, 20 minutes later and said, "We got it, let's go." And they had found the problem, they had solved the problem, and we moved on. What's happening in Gwinnett County Public Schools is the exact opposite. We have people at the county that have a plan, and that plan is somewhat counter to or additional to the written policies for discipline. So they communicate the plan to their administrators. Then they take their legs out from underneath them. And they say, "You cannot deal with in your schools things as you need to do it. You must listen to us for everything. You must take into account what we want for everything." In other words, if I am a principal at a school that doesn't have a lot of discipline issues, or doesn't have a lot of gang activity, or doesn't have a lot of the issues that some other school might have, you have to treat people the exact same at your school as they do there. In other words, we've given you this position of authority. We've given you this position of leadership for your local school, whether it's a high school or middle school or an elementary school, because you have exhibited good judgment, because you have experience, and we want to draw on that experience, but you can't use that. You can't use that experience. You have to now go and do it our way, and we're not going to communicate to the team, and we're not going to have you communicate to the team exactly what those ways are. Whether it be quotas on people, sending people to panel, whether it be quotas on how many people can get disciplined in any manner whatsoever or for anything whatsoever. So principal of one school, his judgment might be that the student body would be better if this person was removed, and either for safety reasons or for efficiency reasons within the classroom, so the teachers don't have to deal with things other than educating the rest of the children. And in another school, he might treat that kid a little bit different. He might have interventions that the principal at the first school doesn't necessarily need or has already tried. Doesn't matter. We all have to do the exact same thing the exact same way. And what you're finding is this top-down approach is neutering our local administrators, is taking their power right out from underneath them. So now, as a school teacher, when I have an issue, what's the point of sending it to our local administrator? They can't do anything. We know that. Just like these kids know that they can do whatever they want to, and the policy, it has shifted or changed, and they're probably not going to miss time or much time, or they're going to come right back into the same school. They're not going to cause their parents to have to take them across town to give or somewhere else, or stay at home and make sure that they're taking care of at home. Once they know there's no real consequences, they have very quickly shifted their behavior. Just as we, teachers, have shifted our behavior. Referrals are down, we were told, at a board meeting. Referrals are down as if that's the metric that's the end-all, be-all. You can't tell me that teachers are writing the same referrals when they see the kid pop back in their classroom the next day. So, we have these different views on how to run an organization. We have current leadership that believes that they can sit on high and make these changes and do all these things and want things to change in a certain direction, and take the power away from the people that they've entrusted with leadership, supposedly, take that leadership ability away from them and turn them into automatons who are supposed to just follow these quotas or follow these ratios or follow these percentages and make sure that you only do this and you only do that at that certain time, and take all of their experience away, all of their judgment away. And the result is, down here at our level, at teacher level, is morale is as low as I've ever seen it since I've gotten into this profession, this calling. Teachers who I have looked up to for years as being passionate about their job are now telling me, I'm waiting to retire. I'm waiting to get out. Other people are saying, I'm out. I'm going to move counties. Other people are saying, I'm ready to get out of education. It's a shame that good teachers who care about their children, I say their children because we all treat them as our children, are ready to quit because they don't feel like they have a say. They don't feel like they can go to anyone. There's no one to go to that can do anything because we have one person or a small team of people that have an agenda that's counter to everything that we know as educators. Everything we know as leaders in our own classroom. So that's just a couple thoughts from coaching that I thought I'd throw out there. Let me know what you think.